Good evening, dear friends. Welcome back to the third hackathon on the artificial intelligence. And let me just tell you that his thought to get this hackathon is actually creating vibration, and the ripple effect which is going at the India level is something which is unimaginable. More importantly, let me just share with you that in the process, we all are learning. The learning is going to a different level. Only for a simple reason, I make the statement that the youngsters who are actually coming forward and showcasing their talent as a panelist is actually motivating our senior members also.
Thank you, Daya sir, and it's encouraging as always to listen to you. And this time it's a easy thing to adopt technology by listening to you. And yes, sir, we all are very excited for today's hackathon. And as you said, these hackathons are becoming like IPL matches. Many offices are showing it live on their screen, and articles and employees, all of them are sitting together. And people are giving ranking, so it has become like dream 11 team or circle 11 team who will score how many runs. So it has become like an IPL season, like a AI hackathon season for all of us. So thanks to all the panelists, thanks to all participants, and let's start our today's third hackathon. So let's go for a sunny ride. In cricket, there is a Sunny Gavaskar. Now, as a panelist, we have Sunny. So, fresh looking Sunny, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, first of all, thank you, ICAI. Thank you, Daya, sir. Thank you, Umesh, sir. And thank you, Vishnu, for coordinating this and giving me this opportunity to present the case of use case for AI in our CA practices. Brief introduction about myself. My name is Sunny Bilaney. I'm an international tax and transfer pricing professional, been in this profession close to 16 years now. And yeah, without wasting much time, I have a limited time of 10 minutes. In this next 10 minutes, let me first share my screen, and we will then go into how AI can be used for international tax practice. Are you able to see my screen? I'm just sharing it now.
Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
And the presentation is visible. Okay, perfect. In next 10 minutes, I'll talk about how AI can be used to do the research and also to draft advice to your client related queries. But yeah, I am using AI for the purpose of Pillar 2, which is one of the international tax reforms. But the concept that I'm going to explain you, the underlying technology which I'll talk about, can be equally used for the respective participants and the juries for their own area of practice, which could be company law, corporate tax, transfer pricing, FEMA, any other area. So what is important is underlying technology and a process to ensure that the AI delivers what you are expecting out of it. With that, a very brief about OECD Pillar 2, what challenges I was facing when I started doing my research and helping my clients in advising on Pillar 2. OECD Pillar 2 is an international tax reform which is impacting large multinational groups globally, where they have to pay minimum 15% corporate tax in each country where they operate. And it is a rule which is being developed in consensus by OECD, with 138 countries agreeing to implement this in their domestic tax law. With that, with such an international legislation, there are a lot of documents that are getting created. Like, for instance, you have OECD model rules, then there is commentary, then there is administrative guidance and GIR form. And on top of that, there are country-specific domestic minimum tax rules. With this, it has resulted in more than 1,000 pages of OECD-related material across 11 documents. 138 countries have agreed to implement OECD Pillar 2, which means there are 138 country-specific domestic minimum tax rules, each country having maybe some tweaks in their own legislation. And on top of that, Pillar 2 is one such rule which is a kind of intertwined with financial accounting, international tax law, Pillar 1, transfer pricing. So it has increased the complexity of doing a thorough analysis. And also when you're advising your client, you need to be 100% sure that your responses and advice is robust. So for this challenge, I developed an AI-based model called as Pillar 2 AI bot. What is the response? What this bot is doing is it's solving two problems. First, you can do a quick and accurate research using the power of AI on the Pillar 2 topic. And second, it helps you draft and advise to the client query in a very comprehensive and a robust manner, and with a reference to verifiable research material. So I'm just reiterating once again the point that while I am using this bot for the purpose of building an AI-based solution for Pillar 2, but what I'm going to do and explain you in next 3 to 4 minutes can be utilized for your area of practice, which could be income tax, GST, customs, or any other area of your practice. With that, let me give you first a demo of what this bot does for me, and then I'll explain you how you can build this bot as well in 1 or 2 minutes. So let me switch my screen and just let me know if you're able to see the screen. It's a custom GPT AI screen.
Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So now this is the bot where you can ask any question on Pillar 2. So I've already drafted 2 questions, one relating to some research related point where I want to do a research across this 1,000 pages of OECD Pillar 2. And I want one answer from in a very quick time from this bot. So what I can simply do is ask the question over here and hit an enter. Within few seconds, less than a minute, you would be able to see how the AI starts drafting a response and gives you a complete references as well as to where the original document is, what is the page number, para number, where it has drafted or got this response from. And it has given a comprehensive analysis of one question. My question was how the stock-based compensation expenses are treated under OECD Pillar 2. And it has given a full analysis by breaking it down into different points. And for each point, it has given you that it is drafted this point of a response based on page number 61, para number 88 of a document, and then page number 17 of Pillar 2 model rule, and so on and so forth. Not only that, with a click of a button, you can actually go to the relevant document. So if you click over here, you can get a full access to that document directly on the platform. And then let's look at one example where at page number 61, para 88, this is the place where the bot has taken the answer. So page number 61, and we have para number 88. And this is the para which talks about the stock-based compensation expenses, how it should be treated. So instead of going through the thousands of pages of OECD material and finding out and across 11 documents, you can simply prompt and ask a question and get a response in less than 30 seconds for your research related topic. But that's one of the use case that you can do a quick and accurate research with the authoritative data. But that's not the only thing. I've also come up with second example where I want AI to draft a response to a query that my client has asked me. This is a very small query. It could be as comprehensive as it could be. It could be as complicated as you want to be. But I have, for the purpose of this demo, I've limited it to a very short query from my client. And this is like anonymized version. I'm just putting the same query again now over here in the prompt. Or let me have a new version. Yeah. And I'll ask this question. And now I'm expecting the AI to draft a advice for my client's question. So it is not a research related point. It is actually a fact. Like I have put across a fact that A Limited holds 60% in B GmbH, and B has paid a dividend of 100 euros to A Limited. On that, a tax has been withheld at a rate of a 5%. Then how should that tax be treated? Who should take it as a simplified cover taxes, whether it's A Limited or B Limited? And it has given a very quick answer, like an advice, and then given an advice like who should be treating it as a cover tax in which entity, whether it's A or B GmbH. And not only that, you also, just like other responses, you can easily check and verify using the source document. So that helps you draft an accurate response to the client query. Now, this is for my Pillar 2 exercise. How do you develop the same bot for your use cases? There is this tool which I'm using. It's by customgpt.ai, where you can create your own GPT. There are 3 simple steps that you need to do to create your own bot. First, you need to get all the data that you want your bot to use when giving a response. So for instance, if you're an income tax practitioner, you need to upload all the data relating to your tax practice. By that, let me just explain you. So it could be your Income Tax Act, income tax rule, some case laws if you want to. It's up to you. How much
Last
data do you
donation.
want? Sure, thank you. As much data as you want, you can load it over here. So I have put all my Pillar 2 related original authoritative data points over here. These are nothing but original files by OECD. Similarly, it could be Income Tax Act or rules in your case. Second, you need to create a persona of this bot, because a lot of time it happens that when you use a kind of a GPT, which is Chat GPT or even paid version of it, it hallucinates because it's using a generic data. Somewhere it will pick up a data from some website, from some other website, but here it is only using my data. So I have a complete control and ensure that it doesn't hallucinate and gives a fake response. And also on top of that, I've created its own persona. It's a persona of an international tax professional. I've told what its behavior should be, and I've trained what it should constrain from doing, and how it should be guidelines of how it should give a responses to the client queries. So that's the second thing that you have to do. Once you're done with these 2 things, you have your own data set, you have your persona of the bot created. The next step is to start training it. Don't expect the bot to give you a response, accurate response immediately, but it will learn over a period of time. You need to train it, you need to improvise it. If it gives a wrong response, you need to correct it. It's like your, I would say, an assistant or a junior team member, where you can train it over a period of time and make him learn how to improve and give more accurate responses that you are expecting. So that's the presentation from my end. And thank you so much. Over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Sunny, for a beautiful and fast forward and very correct interpretation of your OECD guidelines and research and drafting. And most important participant, he has given you a clue that even you can prepare your own office chatbot by giving documents to that customgpt.ai, and it will use your own data. So data security is also there. Hats off to your use case on international taxation. Over to you, Chairman sir.
Very impressive, Sunny. I think you effectively utilized bot, which the tool which is which was not known
Custom
rather to me
GPT
also.
AI.
Custom GPT AI. I didn't actually explore that custom GPT AI, but it is something very interesting. And I think more importantly, when you talk about specific, very rightly you pointed out one thing, which was very clear, that my bot should work on accuracy, not on generic way. Because a professional, friends, let me tell you one thing very important. A chartered accountant's use of technology is an intelligent way of using technology. Rather, I would like to say you cannot actually pull out some generic language, because today what happens is, if you pull out a generic language, everyone is intelligent enough to understand that this is copied from a chatbot. Versus when you actually make your entire process so effective that it is making a small universe of yourself, which is subject specific, will actually give you a true result. Appreciate that. Good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.